Welcome back, viewers. You are still tuned into Prime Live. We know that the Mkhonto We Sizwe Party is celebrating its 1-year anniversary this month. The party was formed on December 16, 2023, and just 6 months before May 2024 elections, in which it stunned critics by winning 15% of the vote. In KZN, it actually won 45%, and since then, it has attracted high-profile defections from EFF and, to a lesser extent, the ANC as well. Now, on December 15th, Durban's Moses Mabhida Stadium will be the venue for the party's very first birthday party. I'm joined this evening by the Citizen's political editor, Naki, who wrote recently on the topic of Zuma's political comeback. Good evening, Eric. Thank you so much for joining us on Prime Live tonight.
Good evening, Nazia, and good evening to your viewers.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you and to pick your brain on this topic as well. It would seem that the MK party has defied the odds and surprised many by its new success, despite being as young as it is. Are we witnessing the political comeback of Jacob Zuma, in your opinion?
Indeed, MK has done very well in the last election. It surprised many with its performance at national level. And when it actually got up to the level of being number 3 in the national stakes, that's a big achievement. In KwaZulu-Natal, it became the largest party. Within a short period of time, it was established. That is a big performance. Yes. But really, so there is indeed a comeback of Jacob Zuma under the MK party. Like he is doing now, he is back in a big way. But what has proven to be is where the question that remains now is whether he can prove to be a national leader, that is a leader outside of KwaZulu-Natal. Because as things seem now, to me, it seems like his strength is in KwaZulu-Natal and perhaps maybe one other province. That is the question that makes people doubt perhaps whether his comeback will be come back in the same way that he was Jacob Zuma under the ANC as deputy president and then as president of the ANC at the time. Those are the questions that are still hanging. But he is really has become a big force, even as some of people might say, he is coming back in a big way.
Now, the MK party is popular not just with the ex-EFF leaders. It seems voters also seem to like them as well as resonate with them. The MK party managed to win 1 seat in the Tabazimbi elections. Do you think they have what it takes to win big in 2026? I know you shared your observations now regarding their popularity in KZN, but do you believe that popularity in KZN will be able to kind of spread over to other provinces as well?
The Tabazimbi by-elections, where they were contesting in 12 wards, was actually a test for MK. It was a test for the ANC after it performed very badly in May. It's a test for MK in that MK, as I said, it's stronger in KwaZulu-Natal. It was a test whether MK is stronger elsewhere outside of KwaZulu-Natal in another province. The results showed, much as it had obtained 1 seat, but people were expecting more than that. We were all expecting more than 1 seat. In fact, we were expecting MK perhaps to be number 2, but it became number right at the end. To me, that shows that MK doesn't have strength outside KZN. And that makes it a very weak party for a national, for a provincial, or I can say for local government, which is the election that is coming in 2026. It's not strong enough to contest in other provinces. and in municipalities outside of KwaZulu-Natal. The fact that ANC retained its seats, or I can say it got the 10 seats. I think previously it had 11. The ANC got 10. It was followed by the DA in Tabazimbi, and then the Freedom Front Plus and Labour Party of South Africa. MK was even beaten by EFF in that province. It performed very badly, actually, in Tabazimbi, where it was actually a test of the strength of Jacob Zuma. For the ANC, this province, Limpopo, is a stronghold of the ANC. Everybody was watching whether ANC will go down from what it achieved in the national elections in May. But the ANC managed to retain those seats, actually, that it had, the number of seats. We were expecting, as I said, MK to take the second spot, but it proved to be not good in its performance in other provinces outside KZN and perhaps outside Mpumalanga, because in Mpumalanga it has got some support, but not in other provinces.
Thank you for sharing your observations with us. However, we do know that Jacob Zuma is a very ambitious politician, and most people are expecting something big in KZN, like you said, where they are in opposition despite winning 45% in their province. Do you think they could beat, or rather they could unseat the ANC-DA IFP coalition at all?
In KwaZulu-Natal?
Mm-hmm.
I don't, you see the way things are at the moment. The DA is part of the Government of National Unity and other parties and IFP. The same situation in KwaZulu-Natal. Those parties together with the ANC and the NFP, they are part of the Government of Provincial Unity. Depending on what they do, how they perform in terms of service delivery in KwaZulu-Natal, they may do very well to the extent that people might want to give them another chance. So it's a huge challenge for MK in the next election, in the 2026 local government election. One may doubt if it will beat these parties together. It may beat ANC, may beat DA. But remember that the IFP is a big force in KwaZulu-Natal. The IFP in 1994 governed that province. Again in 1999, it governed that province until 2004. It means the ANC was far behind. So we can't underestimate the strength of the IFP. When you put the IFP together with the DA, with the ANC, that's a big number. MK needs to work more than 45% if it is to be able to maintain its strength in KwaZulu-Natal. I don't doubt that President Zuma is actually a very strong leader. He's a veteran. He's someone really who has got huge influence amongst the people of KwaZulu-Natal, considering how in 2021 July, there was an uprising when he was arrested. It shows people there in that province really take him very seriously. They would like to vote him by all means to make sure he remains a leader. But in terms of, remember also that the ANC is working hard for its comeback in KwaZulu-Natal. It's working hard for its comeback at national level. But I doubt if the ANC will go above 40 in the next national elections. It might even go lower than 40%. But when you talk about KwaZulu-Natal, Jacob Zuma is facing a huge challenge if you talk about coalitions. But when it comes to parties, party by party, he remains the strongest man, the strongest party in KwaZulu-Natal. We need to watch for that. The MK surprised many really when it actually became number 3 at national level and it became number 1 in KwaZulu-Natal. That was a big achievement, which we expect, many people might expect it to get more. But with the ANC, the DA, and IFP and NFD also working, the MK could find it difficult to go over the 50% mark.
Now let's talk about that national election, or rather nationally. Do you think that President Cyril Ramaphosa, as well as the ANC, will be able to continue, or rather maintain, the GNU and stay in power?
I doubt if the ANC will remain at 40%. Rather than 40%, I see it going down more to maybe about 35%. I don't think it will be 30, it should be around 35%. In that case, it means its support will be going down a lot. But also, depending on the performance of the government of national unity, ANC will be assisted by other parties, other partners within the government of national unity. If they did very good job as governing coalition at national level, together with the DA, together with the IFP, and about 8 or 7 other parties, it tells me that they might still be governing as the coalition. But I don't see the ANC coming back ever again to become a single ruling party, going over 50%. Because there's still a lot that the ANC needs to do to make itself a party that people will accept it again. Because it has done a lot of damage to the people, to the country, and it continues to do that. If you consider the question of the issues like immigration, it doesn't have stable immigration policies. There is a question of spaza shops. There is a lot that the ANC still needs to do, which makes it really a party that needs to make itself accepted to the voters again. Let's hope that other parties will assist the ANC to be a party accepted because of its work in the government of national unity.
Eric, thank you so much for joining us this evening, as well as sharing your perspectives and your observations, as well as your insight. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much. I highly appreciate it.
Viewers at home, that was Eric, who is actually the Citizen's political editor, sharing his perspectives on the rise to power of the MK party, the surprising power that we have seen that they were able to achieve in the recent elections, as well as some possibilities that they may continue to grow come the next election. But do also share your thoughts with us on our social media platforms. We would absolutely love to hear from you. But on that note, it is time for us to head over to an ad break, and we'll come right back.